Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. We're live at the Siege opposite in the Clayton Hotel. Fresh from levelling the fucking place is the only way of describing it. I've two lads here from Grey Stag. I've Matt and Steve.
Hello.
How the hell are you boys?
Doing good. It's sweaty.
What did you think of that? What did you think first of all of the crowd and the response you got?
Oh, the crowd was just insane. Since we started, I know they're up the front. Like it was empty when we were setting up. We were playing the Casbah, and then they just filled in after like the first riff, the first song. It was just full. Just see heads going. It's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely one of the best crowds that we've played by far and away. This is our first Siege, both of us.
Yeah,
like even attending it, let alone playing it. So we had no idea what to expect. I mean, we heard all the good things about this. We were looking forward to getting our asses down here, whether we're playing or not. And it was a fucking pleasure to play in front of those guys.
But do you not think as well, lads, because you've put in a lot of fucking mileage on the roads, do you think that's a bit of a reason why there was such a big crowd for you and the welcome was so good for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like I know at the front row we could see a few heads from Cork, a few from Waterford as well.
Really, the Waterford lads turn up,
yeah.
Cool, fair fuck, see lads.
Yeah, they go all over the spot in the place. The guys from Tombs were there, and then loads of people obviously didn't know because just loads. It was packed. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, really. I like just still sort of. I'm still on a high fucking buzz from that stage, so I'm still trying to get my head around it. But yeah, like. It's great to see some of the people that we see at gigs like from a year ago in Waterford. We saw some like a handful of lads from there, like cool. And it's great cool to see that support. That's like why metal in this country is on such an upward fucking upstroke. Right now, you're seeing that support, and people are more willing to get out their front doors and make a trek to go and see some bands and have a good time. Which it's nice.
But again, lads, I mean, I would say you're a hard touring band. How does that affect your kind of ordinary lives? I presume both of you have full-time jobs, yeah? Is it hard to kind of get the balance between both? I suppose to throw it to you, Steve, first.
Yeah, it definitely is. I suppose, yeah, because in February we played Cork 3 times. Like, it's ridiculous. We love the place, though. But yeah, like we're all full-time jobs. It wasn't too bad for a while, but our drummer, he's actually just got he's
Gat.
He's going for a bus, I think, at the moment. Or no, he disappeared. But he's working tomorrow, the poor bastard. But yeah, like we've toured. I think we've played Cork nearly as much as we played Dublin. We've played Galway, Limerick, Waterford. Like we'll go everywhere, and it's not too hard to fit it in. Like most time, it's good enough in advance.
It's probably weekend gigs more so, yeah.
Yeah,
we have taken more than our fair share of the midweek gigs because I guess we're suckers for punishment. But we just sort of like when we know we're doing them, we just sort of budget in that we're going to be knackered the next morning, like going into work on 2 hours sleep. Sometimes on one occasion I have driven in the door, had a shower and straight out to work. So
Jesus Christ. So actually, who's the driver? I know obviously Grey Stag are a 3-piece, so there's obviously one victim the whole time.
Yeah, it's me and Matt. Gavin gets away.
You share, yeah?
Yeah.
It was actually this time last year I didn't have a car, and I remember we were finishing the Metal to the Masses, and Oracle, who won the Northern Ireland one, they were doing a tour of Ireland. They were looking for a band to play Waterford. Actually, it was our first Waterford gig, and I got a car the week before, and I was like, all right, fucking messaged them now, and they said, yeah, come on down. It's like, grand. And then nearly every weekend it's been up and down since.
And you didn't. You just got your driver's license, is it?
Oh no, I had it, but
okay.
I wasn't using a car because we're from Wicklow, but I moved to Dublin for work, obviously, and I just wasn't using it, so I got rid of it, and then me and the girlfriend saved up. So yeah, it's technically her car, which it's the band car.
And are you all just for kind of rehearsals side of things? Are you all based in Dublin, or are you outside Dublin, or whereabouts are you?
We're all based in Dublin. Yeah, we've changed practice spaces a few times over the existence, but like right now we're practicing in Harold's Cross, and that's a nice sort of mid spot for the.
It is actually, yeah. I know Harold's Cross well, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's working out really well, nicely. We try to get in a weekly practice, important gigs. We often do 2, or like say if we've got a string of gigs coming up, we'll try and get a couple in per week, leading up that just to put the polish on it,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like, we haven't had major trouble so far with getting it together. I've been in bands before where everyone wants to practice and somehow it just doesn't happen for about 5 weeks or 6 weeks because schedules, you know.
That's a long time though, isn't it?
And it's a noticeable time. Like the moment you get back in, you can feel that polish is gone. That's why you need it. And that's definitely a benefit of being the 3-piece, because organising 3 people with jobs is a lot easier than organising 6 people for jobs. Like, you know,
6?
I was in a 6-piece before, yeah. And yeah, that was an absolute nightmare. No, well, actually, do you know what? The 6-piece was not as hard as some other bands I've been in organising. But like, it's definitely one of several advantages. The other being that we can fly down to Cork during the week in a micro. Instead of having to get ourselves
the trusty
a van,
fucking micro. I was arrested for shoplifting in Harold's Cross, actually. That was my last fucking memory of in Harold's Cross. Mistaken identity, of course, but this guy came out of Tesco's and with a shitload of messages and stuff and did a Lego, you know. And I was actually happened to be waiting for a bus heading for Rathfarnham, and fucking cops in a cop car just pulled up and dragged me. Because I actually look like a man, so that's my lasting memory of Harold's Cross. So thanks for reminding me, boys. The EP is, I must say, production wise, sound wise, is fantastic. Again, was it Mick Richards that did the production?
Yeah, it was. I actually, just coincidentally, a couple of years ago, I'd been working in a job for a good few years. I kind of wanted to get out of that line of things. I was in a factory for years doing shifts, and that, like, trying to organise music around it was impossible. I ended up falling off the music wagon for a little while. I'll get round to the crux of the story now in a second. But I ended up like being like, fuck this. Went back to do a master's in music tech, and I ended up on the same course as Mick at the time. Not that he needs any education.
Where was that, by the way?
In Maynooth.
Oh, Maynooth, okay.
He was there for he was there to get the formal, you know, the piece of paper, which, I mean, like, the man's fucking expert, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking donkey's years experience and everything, really knows what he's doing. Anyway, he was really, really cool to work with. He got me in to do a couple of weekends, like, shadowing him with other bands. One of whom actually coincidentally was Sectile, which is just to show what sort of small world the metal scene in Ireland is. But yeah, so like when we were looking at doing our EP, it was sort of a no-brainer.
Of course.
Make a call, because I mean, the
he was probably happy to fucking do it for you.
Oh yeah. He's great to work with though. Like, he walks in and things that, like, there were things I was worried about. We did pre-production. We had identified some issues, and we go in. He goes, yeah, here you go, and he just sorts the problem out like that. Like, he's just so quick.
Had you probably had only 3 or 4 days, did you?
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
2 days, yeah. That's some EP for that, you know.
Yeah, we were only planned to do 3 songs, and we planned it because it was our first time doing it, and yeah, like, we wanted the time. And Gat, the drummer as well, he just blasted through them. He got like the 3 drum tracks. So
Gat's a bit of a legend, by
one of them was done like one take. I don't know how. Like, maybe there's a little thing I need to clean up at the end.
So did Doors of Stone, was that the one that you sneaked in?
That's the one. It was
Jesus
like 11 o'clock.
Christ.
He said, lads, we'll fit one more in here before
You
get
saw
onto
the
bass.
reaction. You saw the reaction for that tonight, like.
Yeah. It's
fucking hell.
It's always a surprise. I mean, I think it was literally during the week before we had gotten there that the hook for the chorus had actually, like,
and that's a great hook, actually. Yeah, glad you brought that up. It's a brilliant hook. Yeah.
Like, we were sitting there with it, and we were really digging that riff, like that main doom, and like I was sitting there going, like, we knew we wanted to tease that chorus out, like, make it feel like it's coming, and then pull it back into the verse and go back into that chorus and really hit people with it. But we didn't have the actual chorus part of it until, you know, until a couple of days beforehand. And we literally, when Mick says, lads, you're going to have time for another track, we sat outside and we, like, were pondering, and we came up, like, with the arrangement that's on the EP now.
Within,
like,
hours.
Yeah, no, we just sat there and, like, just said, right, let's just do it with this arrangement and see if that works. And that's basically what you're hearing on the EP.
Yeah.
We got very lucky that, like, Gat just walked in and first taked a lot of it.
Animal.
Oh yeah, his
a beautiful ginger animal.
Yeah,
He is, yeah. He's looking very Luke Kelly when he's growing his hair right now.
We've started calling him Great Gatsby, the Red Menace, in practice.
But Matt, like, as a vocalist on the EP, how hard is it to sing that live? I keep thinking, how is he going to pull this off? Come on.
Well, I mean, I hope I pull it off live.
You do is the answer, because I mean, we can all bear testament to that tonight, you know.
It's I mean, all that sweat that you're seeing me pump out on the stage, that's from the vocals. It's not from playing the bass. Like it's only a matter of time now before I burst a blood vessel or something like that. It's surprising amount of effort comes from it. Like Those of Stone particularly, like I had to start bleeding cardio workouts and stuff in order to keep that, because the double chorus at the end just doesn't involve any breaths. Because I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess.
But like previous bands before that, were you singing that way? No, I don't think you would have been. No,
no, it definitely wasn't. I had done guttural vocals before in a band with this fella yonks ago, but I mean, I wasn't very good. And I don't know what happened, but when we got this band together, we wanted a marked increase in quality. Like if we were doing this, we're gonna do this well. So that went for everything, and basically the only difference between the vocals I was doing in previous iterations, which weren't very good, and this, which I'm happy with, was just the extra effort putting it in, and every single performance requires just 100%. And like from early gigs where, say, if the effort dips, you notice it immediately. So there's just no leeway for it, really.
What about you, Steve? Did you ever think of helping Matt out with it, or no? He's laughing here.
Vocals, no. Like maybe something. Like obviously, like a lot of bands do the multi-vocal thing, but geez, I've had enough time on the guitar to just focus on that and keep that going.
It's handy.
It's. I don't think it needs it, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. No, it definitely doesn't.
We were like, that was one thing that Mick said as well. Like you could add in some harmonies there, and we were thinking maybe some parts we do it, or add in the crowd vocals. But DPs it was, we just said no, we'll do that. Maybe think about it in future. But no, I don't think it needs any help on the vocals.
No, fuck it. No. As it's just another dynamic that I was wondering, did you actually consider as a band to add in before the EP was released? You know, but as I said, he carries it off live. You can see even the veins coming out in your face. Fucking, as I said, they're fresh off the stage. How would you manage if you had to headline? Can I add in one suggestion?
Oh, of course, we're always open to that. Yeah.
That if he added in High on Fire, Snakes of the Divine, I reckon you could carry that off to a fucking T, lads.
Oh yeah.
Are you fans of High on Fire, or?
This man mostly, yeah. I'll let you talk. Why am I talking about how much you're?
Go for it, Steve. Man.
I'm a big High on
Sell
Fire
it,
man, yeah.
sell it.
Massive High on Fire. Ever since like the Art of Self-Defense.
Yes.
First heard Blood from Zion. Yeah, love High on Fire. All their stuff up to Blessed Black Wings. Snakes to Divine. Death to This Communion. I love all the High on Fire stuff. Yeah.
Could you carry off? I think you could do a cover there, or one or two.
Maybe do one or two. Yeah, they've got some nice, tasty riffs in there.
Where are you coming from, Matt? Musically wise,
influences. Oh man, I mean, like there's the obvious ones there. I think everyone points out. You know, like Death, Opeth. Mastodon, of course. Clutch, definitely would be a big, like we're a big fan of that. I mean, I've been fading, what's the word, sliding into sort of a more blackened and death metal sort of influence. I seem to teeter on the two extremes now. Like I want to hear black metal, or I want to listen to fucking hip hop.
Yeah, you kind of have to be careful that way, because I think as a band, what you have at the moment, in my opinion, is fucking brilliant. You know, and just develop that rather than you going into kind of.
Oh yeah, no, that's just what I'm listening to. I'm not gonna.
We all have a core base of we all like Opeth, Mastodon. You're more into black metal, whereas I go more High on Fire, Kylesa, Red Fang, that kind of.
I heard a rumour you're into trash like me.
I grew up on trash. Yeah,
the kid, horns up.
I loved Annihilator back in the day. Love Jeff Waters.
Oh yeah.
And then Gat the drummer, he'd be more into like post metal, like Russian Circles. He likes Intronaut. You like?
Oh fuck it, that's a nice blend then, lads. You know. So you're all kind of pushing in relation to the songwriting side of things. There's a good mix there for you to kind of work out between you. Yeah.
I think it's like we haven't resulted in any weird conflicts in the practice room. We tend to come, like, someone has an idea, like Steve might come in with a riff or two,
okay,
and then we're all sort of we all basically just sit there, jam it out, see how we're going. And there hasn't been any conflicts of saying, oh, like, that's not this band.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so far. Yeah. So like we tend to put our spin on whatever's come in.
Yeah.
So far it's working.
And it's weird because like when I write a riff, I might think it's like, oh, this is a very, let's say, Opeth riff, and it has this kind of feel to it. And then you start playing it, and Gat does this things on the drums, and it turns into something else. It's like, all right, I didn't envision it like this. And then Matt does some weird vocals over. It's like it's not what the original thing at all. Like everyone adds in their own little thing and makes it like. I'd say when you bring stuff in, or if Gat does something, like it's never what it was originally like. And, you know, when you mix it between people, it just changes into, I don't know, us.
And as a 5-stringer bass player, I mean, where are your influences coming from bass wise? Have any kind of obvious heroes?
Oh jeez, right. I should probably prepare an answer for this in future. Like I find that like in terms of listening to bass, I used to be a very like I don't know. I used to delve deep into jazz bassists and trying to find like people I really like. But now I really have to say it's more about the performance than like the stage performance rather than the technical performance.
Okay.
So like I'd be more inclined to now rate, say, someone like Gene Simmons, who can hold this like one note but in the air and really rock it, than you know, say Jacko.
Troy Sanders now or whatever, like.
Troy Sanders is that beautiful mix of the two, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I mean, the man is so big, he can stand there and that's a performance. But like making giant basses look tiny as well, that's something I'll never be able to do. But he has that mix of like, I mean, he's got the chops, man, but like never to sacrifice a good show.
But he's on a is he, I could be wrong now totally, I'm just guessing here, but is he on a 4-string or a 5-string? He's a 4-stringer.
Unless things have changed, he's on 4 strings with different tunings, yeah. He's in a position now, someone hands him a freshly tuned one between tracks, but yeah.
The only reason I'm interested in this because I used to play bass myself, and how hard is it to make the transition from 4 to 5? Like, were you a guitar player beforehand, or were you always a bass player?
No, I started off on the piano as a little kid, pushed into classical training for a little while, and then I fell off that and I picked up the bass.
Okay.
When I was about 15, so late bloomer, but I got a Squire bass, and within a year I bought the bass that you see me playing now. I had a summer job, spent back in the day, and I couldn't save up to afford that thing now. But back in the day I somehow managed to, and I'm still playing it today. So there was no transition to 5-string really. I was still shit when I started playing that, and
it's a nice bass. So it's the
class bass,
Rex Brown special edition.
Yeah, it's the Rex Spectre special edition. I don't think they, of
course, you'd know that,
make them anymore.
I remember when he bought it, I was like,
it's beautiful. I was just obsessed with that headstock. Like, I wanted the 5-string and I wanted that headstock, because now the Spectres have a pointier, skinnier headstock, which is probably better for the necktie.
It was always the Rickenbacker basses for me, man. Lemmy, and that was it. You know, there was nothing else but that fucking animal of a bass. Steve, what about you? Would you go 7 strings, 8 strings, or would you stick with the 6?
I'm happy enough with the 6. Enough issues with them.
I
might do it at some stage, because we do one song at the moment, Those of Stone and Drop A, and we've got other riffs around in Drop A. So I like 7-string bands. I don't like I suppose not my thing, the constant chugging on the 7-string. I think I like the Drop A where it gives you that dynamic and then going to the high. But as a guitarist, is it harder to get that 7-string or 8-string in relation to your sound? I think for our sound, it would be a bit too different, so I wouldn't try it. Now, I have had to up my string gauge a lot since tuning down to Drop A, because before that I was using 10s, and it was just going out of tune like all the time, halfway through songs or whatever in practice. So I'm up to, I think it's 13s to 56 up on the thing, so it's like a 7-string thickness on it. It's just using 6, and I tune up and down a lot during the set. What I would like is, roadies to give me new guitars and different tunings, but
wouldn't we all?
So you can stick to your bloody fingers.
New songs, I'm gonna have to push you on it, lads, because what you've performed tonight, and the new song actually was fucking excellent. I must
Thank
say.
you very much. Thank you.
Well done. What's the name of that, by the way?
It's called The Boats.
The Boats, yeah.
It's a
BOATS, yeah.
That's the one,
Boats,
yeah.
Any story behind it, or how did it come about, or?
You came up with the core concept.
Yeah, the story behind it is I suppose I wrote that when I was at home for a weekend, and my mum had a cancer scare.
Oh, fuck.
And
Okay.
she's all right. Like it was literally just
okay.
a scare. But I was at home. My girlfriend had gone home to visit her parent or something, and I was just sitting there. I was like, all right, that's shit. So I was just at home writing that song. So it's kind of like sad, but up and down, about the place. And that's where the music came from. Then I never even told Matt at the time, and then I know the lyrics kind of match it. They're kind of hopeless, but something there.
I just took the song and made it about me. That's what I do.
That's what he does.
There you go. Yeah, if you can, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like how that song's come together. Like, it was originally 13 minutes long, and we cut it down to its 9-minute form. It is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes in it, and kind of, we'll say from a rhythm point of view, the change drastically. You're anticipating it, and it fucking does, which is from a fan, which is great,
Thank you.
You're kind of, so that's one. What about the rest? You've set a high bar for yourselves, lads. Unfortunately, for that EP, it's fucking super. So where are you going to go with the next one? Is it an EP or an LP or?
I mean, we haven't really formally discussed it, but it's going to most likely be an EP.
Okay.
Like if we're doing an EP, good chance you're going to see the Boats on it.
Yeah.
We have a couple more tracks in the works at the moment as well, and we got a few weeks off gigging right now, so that's
good.
We're going to be sitting down and really focusing on those right now.
Yeah, and I suppose our first one, we're really happy with it, but we not rushed with it, but we just wanted to get everything out, get it up on Spotify, get our t-shirts made, get all of that, and it all kind of came together very late, and we didn't have enough time to promote it.
Yeah, and this is it, yeah.
And luckily we did.
There's a momentum after gathering behind you.
Exactly. We just kept going. We were gigging after that, and then we won the Metal Radio Ireland's Best EP, which is amazing.
Correct,
we never thought it was just. It's great that so many people voted for us. And we're looking forward to doing the next one. We'll get it down right, sit in it, make sure everything's ready, and then blast it out. Mini Irish tour or something, maybe further. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Releasing the next one with a push is definitely going to be a focus, because we did. We were just so excited with the first one. We were really proud of ourselves, and we just wanted to get it out there.
I
think we could just through it.
You definitely have found your sound. Would you agree with that? I mean, because I know you've been in bands for quite a long time, probably 10, 15, 20 years nearly. 15 years, 10 years.
What am I? I'm going 13 years, 14 years playing.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So I mean, suddenly you have, as Grey Stag, have a certain sound now which people love. So you've put a lot of pressure on yourselves by being what you are now, which is quality, and can carry it live as well. So the next EP, there will be a lot of pressure on you, and I'm just wondering how you're gonna cope with that. It's a good fucking pressure, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I mean, well, the process I think is going to work roughly the same. We're happy with the new stuff we're working on. I suppose we're refining that sound that we have, because I mean we've identified that we have a sound.
You do, yeah.
And we're refining that and making improvements. When we play, we see what people are reacting to.
You got the reaction there straight away, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I suppose when we started as well, a lot of it was just out of how it happened. You had some songs, I had some songs, and we do small changes. But the more we, The Guide was the first one, and the title track of the EP, that was the first one I know that we properly co-wrote together, nearly riff for riff. They're switching between both of us, and that was our song, that we first wrote, and then from there we've kind of done the back and forth, and it seems to be working, rather than someone just doing one sound. We still make little changes there, but I think we've been doing that, and it's definitely working, and we keep doing that.
Yeah. Recording wise, I know it's getting ahead of us. Are you looking there's certain there's some fucking great producers out there. I don't want to name names, but I mean you look at Zahora, Zealot called 10 Ton Sog, Dead Label. I mean, for an Irish band out there now, you've got a lot of selection for places to go to record that album as well,
Yeah, indeed.
Which is a great thing.
We definitely haven't discussed what way we're going to do that, and I think it'll as these songs sort of find their final arrangements and their final forms. That's when I think we'll make that decision. But we haven't discussed it even in the first instance yet.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, as I said, as a fan and a converted fan, there's going to be me and a few others going, lads, when the fuck, you know, what's the next one, you know?
Be waiting with the pitchforks.
So that's it. I must say, lads, again, I thought out of all the bands, you fucking blew everybody off the stage in the Casbah. I think that's what it was, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And an absolute pleasure. And a shout out to Gat, who is still on the fucking missing list somewhere.
Yeah, he'll turn up. He's like a homing pigeon, actually.
He never usually dies.
To this day, has never yet died. So that's
well, there you go.
If he dies now, this is going to be a fucking
infrequently
morbid
perishes.
podcast.
So you've been listening to the Metal Cell live from the Clayton Hotel alongside the Siege. And again, I must say thanks a million for Grey Stag for showing up. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. And that's it. Over and out. And thanks again for the lads for showing up.
Thank you very much for having us.
Cheers, boys.